Page 84, Jazz Ostinato in C sharp minor. The previous pages, they're introducing you to C sharp minor. C sharp minor is the relative minor to E major. We've been in E major, 4 sharps. Well, now C sharp minor is 4 sharps. Again, go do the scale video on C sharp minor. Sounds really ugly. Not so bad. Well, it's sort of ugly, but not too bad. You can do it. So let's talk about this mess. I'm going to start with the right hand in the second line. Now there's some notes at the bottom. The ostinato is, an ostinato is just like a constant thing going on. You get it a lot. Here it's this rhythm in the right or the left hand. This a lot in boogie woogies and jazz, and if you're improvising, this is one of the patterns you can use. Now there's another note says you can play the notes unevenly because this is kind of a jazz style, and in jazz you would play the eighth notes unevenly unless they had a note otherwise, so it's here. And it's just this way all the way through it. Hopefully you play it better than I did. Then the other note, I'll get to that in a little bit. So let's cover this part. Back to the right hand. Second line, I'm going to swing the eighth notes. Staccato on the last one. Don't accent it, it's just staccato. The tendency is to accent the note like this. No accent. Just make it short, and then 2 measures later you got bass clef, you're down here. Statement, reply, statement, reply. Next line, you're up here. That's loud. Next line, it's a reply, sort of loud. There's no staccato on the reply. That last note is a full quarter note, just so you're aware of it. Then, the end of the line, this 4th line down, last measure, it's here. They're saying this way, this fingering. That's fine, but I don't like it. I'm going to do this fingering. On the 2 C's, I'm going to use 4/5. I could use 5 on both. The point is the second C has to be a 5. And then a 4, and then they're fingering. I don't have to cross over the thumb. Then in the last line, second measure, I get the reply, and I'm using the same fingering. Only the last measure, that's a triplet. And this triplet is done in 1 beat. And I'll explain more about the triplet when I get back to the left hand, because in this piece there's an easy way to do this. So it's a triplet. Now, notice the staccatos went away. We're not staccatoing right now, no more at the end of this. It was at the beginning you had that staccato. Going on to page 85, same thing. This is the statement, and I'm using the same fingering, a 4/5. And then a reply. Now we get a lot of triplets. So that second line, first measure, the last beat, those last 3 notes, that's triplet. You see the 3 underneath the G sharp? That's not a finger number. It's telling you it's a triplet. They didn't put the little curved line. See, some publishers will put a little curved line on triplets, either above or below them, wherever. Some don't. So you have to be careful on that. So it's confusing sometimes. They read that 3 as a finger number. It's a triplet, indicating a triplet. There are 3 notes that are beamed together. There's a reason for that. It's a triplet. Then a half note, make sure you hold that half note out a full 2 beats. Then a one beat rest, then a triplet again. Hold that out for 2 beats and then another triplet. And then a series of this. Make sure you lift the hand. We want to break in the phrasing. See the slurred? It's like a 2-note slur. Except they've added a triplet. And then going on, I do these triplets 3/2, 4 on that. If you want to use a 2/1, you go right ahead, but I'm using 3/2 on the triplets. 4th line down, like so. That's pretty much it. The only other thing would be that at the very bottom, the last chord in the right hand, I'm fingering that with a 1, 2, 4, 5. I know it's a stretch to go from here to here. If you want to use third finger, that's okay, but I use fourth finger, just so you know. Now, I've already talked about the left hand, so let's put them together because they sort of fit, sort of. Starting with the second line here. You got to be able to do different things in the hands because figure-wise, it's all different. So again, and again, this is loud, but it's loud for the right hand. Keep the left hand down throughout. It's just that pulsating ostinato throughout the whole thing. It doesn't really get involved any more than it's the underlying beat and harmony. Keep it out of the way. Fourth line down, last measure, we're loud. This is the right hand that's loud. Keep the left hand down. Now let's fit the triplet in with both hands. This is a little easier. What we're going to do is we're going to play the first note in the triplet with the note in the left hand. And we're going to play the last note in the triplet with the second note in the left hand. Like that. They go together. See, the left hand, it's a swing thing. So it's not always the same rhythm exactly. So it's sort of a cross between a dotted rhythm and a triplet rhythm, but when you got triplets in there, you adjust it and make it a triplet rhythm. So it's here on the last measure. Do all the triplets the same way. So it's not so bad, is it? Going on, page 85, loud. That's the right hand. Keep the left hand down. Now, medium loud. You have to be careful when the hands are down low and they're near each other, and you want to bring out the melody. Because it's just tricky. You have to make the left hand go really soft, is what I'm saying. So you may have to adjust the left hand down when you come down here with the right hand. Then you're going to repeat all that mess again. I don't want to repeat it. Let's go down to the last line on page 85. Ritardando y diminuendo. You're going to slow down and get softer. You're going to die away. So here, start. In the last measure, you're here, left hand, 8/8 under it. So I'm going to go down, hold the right hand down, and then I'm going to roll all those chords, those notes one at a time. I'm going to roll that very slowly because this is out of rhythm. We're done with this rhythm now. Now it's just a free-for-all. So that last measure here. Remember, we're soft. And then here. I don't like the idea of rolling all of these notes one at a time like this when the hands are this far apart. But the music is saying to do it, so otherwise I would play this with the first two notes in the right hand, like so. But they wanted the squiggly line goes all the way down. That means you do all one note at a time. That's what they're saying. I don't know. You can experiment and see what you think.